Hey everybody, in this video we are going to cover push-up technique and how to do a push-up properly. So we're going to cover multiple things here. If you have not watched my video on how to do a front plank properly, I want you to watch that video first because that will teach you where your body has to be, because a front plank on the elbows is virtually the exact same position that you're in a push-up. It's just the push-up you're on your hands. And so everything is going to apply from a plank over to a push-up. Okay, so first step, number one, is I find most people have their hand position in the wrong spot. So either their hands are far too wide, right? Or typically what I'll see, the next step is instead of being underneath the shoulders, their hands are out front and then they do a push-up and they're way out here, and that forces the elbows to be straight out to the side, which ends up putting more stress onto the rotator cuff and just opening up the front part of the shoulder. And now that's not bad here and there, but if you do that repeatedly over and over on every single time that you do push-ups, you're gonna end up wrecking the shoulder or creating some sort of injury for it. So, hand position number one. Either if you start up here, hands directly underneath your shoulders. Another option to start is to basically just go flat down and have your hands basically at armpit. So if you stick your thumbs kind of where your armpits are and just go slightly wider, that'll be a great first position. Next step is shoulders down away from the ears, okay? Because we are sitting down behind computers most of the day, we are rounded over, we are shrugged. We want to mitigate that, minimize that, and do the exact opposite by dropping those shoulders down away from the ears. Now you'll notice what happens when my hands are in the right position underneath my shoulders are down, my elbows automatically go back at 45 degrees. Okay, so if I go in this position here, I find the shoulders here, and I drop the shoulders down, I'm automatically in the right position for my arms to be. So when I come up, I am in 45 degrees, and I put a lot less stress and strain on the shoulder joint itself. Okay, so that's the very first two things for the push-up. I will just cover, you want your body tight. I cover this in the front plank, but you want your body tight as you go through, okay? This is not allowed into the push-up, okay? We do not want that back flat. If that is happening, we want to tuck your bum underneath a posterior pelvic tilt, drop that back so that you can, drop the butt by tucking the tailbone under and flattening that back, and then we're gonna be in a good position for the push-up. So, once the hand position and the shoulders are down away from the ears, the next step is to then perform the aspect of the push-up. So starting on the knees to start, right? Shoulders down, hands underneath the shoulders, elbows going back at 45 degrees, and then coming up. Making sure you got a straight line the entire time from the shoulders to the ears, and that as you lower, you don't let the shoulders shrug up to the ears. You keep the shoulders down away from the ears, and you maintain that the entire way through the push-up. The other thing that is very, very, very common on the push-up is you will see people's heads duck forward as they're doing a push-up. It's like they're trying to make it cheap and make it easier so they don't have to go down as far, right? But you want to almost think about giving yourself a double chin. So you tuck the chin in and tuck the head back. Not doing this, but just giving yourself a double chin and then going through that range there and going through. And then that will help to keep your neck in line, and that's gonna give you more strength, but it's also gonna prevent you from straining the muscles of your neck there as well, okay? So, next step, if you're strong on the knees, then is to come up onto the toes. And then it's the exact same thing as we go through there. One thing that can be very, very different for a lot of people than what they've heard for a push-up before, but it will really help to solidify and stabilize your shoulder joint and your scapula on your back, your shoulder blade, is called corkscrew. That's what I'm going for. Corkscrewing your arms. So it's essentially external rotation of your arms. So what I get people to do, the way that I teach this, is you can get hands and knees here, and I don't want them having a lot of weight on their hands here. And basically, push the shoulders forward, get their elbows locked out, and from here, they should be able to rotate their arms here, okay? My hands aren't moving at all. They're staying still, And again, I'm just rotating the biceps forward, and then internal rotation, rotating the biceps inward, rotates the biceps forward by rotating the arm outward. So what happens when I get here, I drop the shoulders, okay? And I do external rotation, I turn the bicep forward, is look at my shoulder, where it goes. If I rotate that bicep forward, my shoulder automatically drops and sinks into the shoulder joint itself, and then therefore I'm a much stronger position, and it's gonna be easier to maintain that when I drop into the push-up. So what you wanna think about is as you're dropping down into the push-up, is think about like I'm rotating out without the hand. So I'm rotating as I'm going down, and I'm trying to maintain that external rotation, that corkscrew, as I'm coming up. So we'll see if we can give you a little bit of a view here. So fingertips are facing straight forward, okay? They're not out to the side or inward. The fingertips are straight forward. Drop the shoulders and rotate at the same time, okay? Now I'm thinking about rotating, even though you can't see any change, but I'm thinking about, especially the top, rotate and bring those biceps forward, okay? I don't let the elbows come out to the side. I'm at 45 degrees, and I'm rotating forward. From here, give you a better angle, out to the side, and rotating forward. I'm not doing a tricep push-up here. Elbows are going, again, 45 degrees. I'm thinking about rotating, especially on the way up. Rotate those biceps forward, and then I'm keeping everything engaged that entire way down and up. Keep my shoulders in a much stronger position, preventing the shrugging up, and that is going to be able to keep people's shoulders in a much, much better position. Now, obviously, that's a little bit more advanced technique that I'm gonna wait until people kind of get the basic understanding of the fundamental steps of a push-up first, but that is something that you can add in once you feel that you have that to be able to, again, solidify things really strong, keeping the body totally strong and solid, like in the front plank video, which there should be a link in the description of this video for that, and really just make sure that you have that foundation of the front plank before the push-up, because that foundation needs to be in place before you add movement of the push-up. All right, so that is the basic fundamentals of the push-up. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and have an awesome day and good luck on the push-ups.